साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ 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 साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। 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 ॐ
Dear devotees, you are about to embark on the greatest journey of your life, a journey to the core of your inner being. Please, all in a low voice, follow the Omkar and let your mind reach a quietude of silence. All together, let us repeat the Pranava. please sit up straight. And in the quietness of your mind, hear the sound of your breathing. Breathe in and out. In, out. Now, open your eyes and see the light in front of you. This is the light of a candle. Gaze intently at the light. Now, feel the light shining in the center of your forehead. Now half close your eyes and feel the light in the center of your forehead. Now, let that light come down your neck to the center of your chest. Imagine a flower, a lotus, opening petal by petal to receive the light. Now the light is resting on the lotus. The lotus disappears, only the light remains. But it is no more the light of the candle. It is a round ball of formless light. It is a light of divinity within you. Feel this light now expand, and feel the light going down your body, into your legs, up to your feet. Feel warmth as the light surges through your limbs. And make this mental vow, O Lord, my legs, touched by the light of your divinity, will always take me only to places of goodness. Feel the light surging upwards, up into your chest, around your shoulders, and down into your arms and fingers. Feel the warmth as this light surges through you. Make this mental vow, O Lord. My arms, touched by the light of your divinity, will only yearn to do what is good. Now feel the light surging upwards into your neck and into your face, into your head. And the light now shines in your eyes. Make a vow. My eyes must yearn to see only what is good. Feel the light now shining in your ears. My ears must yearn to hear only what is good. Feel the light now shining on your lips. My lips must yearn to only speak what is good. Now, feel this light now shining into your whole body. The light illumines the body. In your mind, repeat the words, the light is in me. Now feel the light expand. Expand, and you are now sitting in a ball of light, in a cone of formless light. Let your mind say, the light is within me, I am in the light. Feel a thrill of this light, and now feel this light expanding and filling this entire room with a divine glow. And let this light now go beyond this room, beyond and beyond, spreading ever further to this whole country, and beyond this country, beyond oceans and beyond nations. Let this light flow ever outwards to encompass the whole world. Now, imagine yourself, not your physical body, but an inner being within you, like a gigantic divine form. sitting on the globe, and the light of your divinity, the light of your love, encompassing the whole world. Stay for a moment, thrilled in that thought. Now, bring into your mind's eye and send your light of love to all the creatures of the world, all the animals and insects, creatures that fly or crawl. All of them are God's creatures. Send your light of love now to those whom you dislike or whom you think dislike you. Send your love, send your light of love to them. The same Atma in you is also in them. Let them feel the radiance of your light. Let them feel the radiance of your love. Now, into your mind's eye, bring those you love, your spouse, children, relations, friends, whoever. Bathe them with the divine glow of your love. Feel oneness with the whole world. Feel at peace with yourself. And now, look inside you. Can you imagine? Do you see a ball of light within you? In this ball of light, bring in the form of the Ishtadeva, the divine being that you love and worship. See this form smiling within you. See this divine form raise his hands in blessing. You have shared your love with the world. Now, receive the blessing and darshan of the divine within. Stay for a moment, thrilled in this thought that you and he are one. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ श्रीभास्कराय विद्महे साईदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सूर्यः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ प्रेमात्मनाय विद्महे हिरण्यगर्भाय धीमहि तन्नः सत्यः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
आज्ञा भैया काल की कभी चलायो बंद सब सीखन को कब है गुरु मानियो ग्रंथ गुरु ग्रंथ जी मानियो प्रगट पुरा की ने जो प्रभु को मिल वो चाहे खोज शब्द मिले राज करेगा खालसा आती रहे न कोई बार हुए सब मिलेंगे बचे शरण जो होए वाहे गुरु नाम जहाँ रहे चढ़े सो तेरे पार जो शरदा कर सेव दे गुर पार उतारन हार जो शरदा कर सेव दे गुर पार उतारन हार बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि धर्मं शरणं गच्छामि संघं शरणं गच्छामि ॐ नमो अहिलन्तानं ॐ नमो सिद्धानं ॐ नमो आयर्यानं ॐ नमो गजायानं नमो लोये सब साहुरणं ते सोपं च नमो कायो सर्व पावनाशयो श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्। गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजनीवती धीनामवित्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्। ॐ नमो भगवते रुद्राय। ॐ नमस्ते रुद्रमन्यव उतोत इषवे नमः। नमस्ते अस्तु धन्वने बाहुभ्यामुत ते नमः। या तैषु शिवतमा शिवं बभूवते धनुः शिवा शरव्या या तवतया नो रुद्रमृणया या ते रुद्रशिवा तनूरघोरा पापकाशिनी तया नस्तनुवाशन्तमया गिरिशन्ताभिचाकशीः यामिषुं गिरिशन्तहस्ते बिभर्षस्तवे शिवान् गिरिकृतान् कुर्वायुंसि पुरुषं जगतः शिवेन वचसा त्वा गिरिशाच्यावदामसि यथा नः सर्वमिज्जगत यक्ष्मगुं सुमना असतः अद्यवो जगति वक्ता प्रथमो दैव्यो विशक अहिकुश्च सर्वान् जम्बयन् सर्वाश्च यातु धान्यः असयस्ताम्रो अरुण उत बभ्रुः सुमङ्गलः ये चेमागुं रुद्रा अभितो दिक्षु श्रिता सहस्रशो विक्षागुं हेरयीमहे असो यो वसर्पति नीलग्रीवो विलोहितः उतैनं गोपा अदृशन्नदृशन्नुदहार्यः उतैनं विश्वा भूतानि सदृष्टो मृडयातिनः नमो अस्तु नीलग्रीवाय सहस्राक्षाय मीदृशे अथो ये अस्य सत्त्वानो हन्तेभ्यो करन्नमः प्रमुञ्च धन्वनस्वमुपयोराज्ञियोज्या याश्च ते हस्त इषवः पराता भगवो वपा अवतत्यधनुस्त्वगुं सहस्राक्षसदेषु दे निशीर्षल्यानामुखा शिवो नः सुमना भव विज्जन्दनुः कपर्तिनो विशल्यो बाणवागुम् उत अनेशन्नस्येषव आगुरस्य निषङ्गतिः या ते हेतिर्मीदुष्टमहस्ते बभूवते धनुः तयास्मान् विश्वतस्वं यक्ष्मया परिभुजा नमस्ते अस्त्वायुधाय नातताय धृष्णवे उभाभ्यामुत ते नमो बाहुभ्यां तव धन्वने परिते धन्वनो हेतिरस्मान् धृणक्तु विश्वतः अथो यशुभिस्तभारे अस्मन्निदेहितम् नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः।
अत्रीणात्वा कृमे हन्मि कण्वेन जमदग्निना विश्वावसोर्ब्रह्मणा हतः कृमीणागुं राजा अप्येषागस्थपतिर्हतः अथो माताथो पिता अथो स्थूरा अथो क्षुद्राः अथो कृष्णा अथो श्वेताः अथो आशातिका हताः श्वेताभिः सह सर्वे हताः आहरावद्य श्रितस्य हविषो यथा तत्सत्यं यदमुय्यमस्य जम्भयोः आदधामि तथा हि तत् खण्फण्मृषि ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
साई गणराया साई गणराया साई गणराया
We are fortunate to have one such distinguished Sai alumna, Dr. Kiran Bala Arora, as our guest speaker today. Dr. Kiran Bala started her blessed and most fulfilling journey with Bhagwan at the age of 16 and owes it all to him. She is currently serving as Honorary Associate Professor in the Department of Hindi, Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, Anandpur campus, and is the former warden of Sri Sathya Sai Women's Hostel, Anandpur campus. I am glad to say that she is a few years senior to me, and I have been associated with her for more than 4 decades with Swami as our link. Kiran Didi, as I address her, came into Sai fold in 1969 when her father was posted at the Agra Air Force camp. Their family had the first darshan of Swami in 1970 during Dasara festival at Parthi. After this, she insisted on studying in Bhagwan's College for Women at Anantapur. With immense grace of Bhagwan, not only did she get admission in this college, but Baba also showered his blessings profusely on their batch by being physically present that day in Anantapur campus. You can imagine the joy they would have experienced that day. She completed her BA, MA, and PhD from Sri Venkateshwara University. At each step, it was Swami who was guiding and commanding her to pursue different courses. In 1984, with his direct intervention, she was absorbed as a faculty member in the Anantapur campus. Kiran ma'am, as she is popularly known among students, is blessed with immense talents. Apart from being an inspiring teacher, she is a versatile artist, a poet, and an active yoga practitioner. She was university first in yoga and also secured first class in Sanskrit Prathamik exam. She was part of the first women's band in the Anantapur campus and had the unique chance of playing clarinet in Prashanti Nilayam during Swami's 50th birthday celebrations in his immediate divine presence. She has written many poems on Bhagavan. In fact, the few lines which I recited at the very beginning were from one of her poems written on Bhagavan Baba. She has also written a book on the life story of Bhagavan in soulful Hindi verse titled Charit Tumhara, Sambal Hamara. Even now, she continues to translate Sai literature into Hindi. I would like to highlight her contribution in the field of Sai education. She is a mentor par excellence. She has influenced the life of many students, especially through the awareness classes in the college, telling them the different aspects of Sai education as a way of life and how one should continue to practice Swami's message and love Bhagavan even after leaving the portals of Anantapur campus.
My most loving and reverential pranams at Bhagwan's lotus feet. My loving Sai Rams to all the elders and youngsters here. I stand here by the inner command of Bhagwan and by the love which pulled me by my own children. I am beholden at the beautiful atmosphere I feel here, and it is all due to his long-standing presence physically around here. Let me start with the poem again. Radhika has anyway introduced me as a poet, so I brought a poet to start with. The feelings are, which can be the feelings of all of us. My Lord to me is an effulgence brighter than sun, my partner in the game of life, to have some fun. True wisdom is to have in him an endless trust. Rely on him and surrender, I know, is the best. My heart single, my mind sure and clear. Only goodness happens to me, for my Sai is always near. He lives always and loves our dearmost Sai, the unending preciousness of every student of Sai. As Radhika just stated, that we are very, very fortunate to have been the contemporary of the avatar, the Purna avatar of the age. And as she said, the next beautiful fortune was to know him, the avatar, the Purna avatar. The third fortune was to get enchanted by the mesmerizing love as the most precious for our hearts, to keep it for life. And lastly, the greatest of good fortune is to hold his hand and walk along to ultimately merge in him. The usual pattern of Bhagwan, when he has to take care of us, love us, express that love, is like this: to attract his bantus, as he used to call us, is to create a difficulty or a great need, and then to bring it to such a climax that we want his intervention, we cry for help, and then to extend that beautiful help in the most sweetest ways. And this help that he extends in such times becomes an experience for us to keep it in the closet of our hearts. Jaya Madam once asked Bhagwan in my presence, and I recollect, she asked Bhagwan, Swami, some experiences are so personal in nature, can we share it with others? Swami said, why not? Why keep it locked in your heart? The joy that you received experiencing those will also be the experience of the listener. Share it. And the Samarpan talks have been doing just that. I congratulate all the organizers of these beautiful Samarpan talks. Like all of us, I too have a small treasure trove of pearls, shining pearls. And these pearls are these experiences in which Swami has proved as a life-saving element of our lives. Some of us in my family have almost gone close to death or death-like situations. And Swami has come to our help just on time and healed the situation, taken care and brought us out of its jaws. Like Markandeya, Shiva was there ready to help him. We have Shiva Shakti to help us all the time. Every second and every minute of our lives is safe just because we walk with him. I would start with an experience which my mother had. I had finished my MA by Bhagwan's command at SV University, Tirupati, and I had gone home for a while, waiting for the registration for PhD to get announced. During that time, my mother was a long-standing patient of asthma, and it was one of the worst strike of this asthma attack that she was actually undergoing. My father is an Air Force officer, as she just informed, had a provision to seek a transfer in the choice on medical grounds. So because the doctors had advised my mother to be in a place which is dry and free of moist atmosphere, my father sought a transfer to Rajasthan, and so we were transferred to Jodhpur at that time. During this period of a couple of months when I was at home, she was struggling through this very, very severe asthmatic attack. And to worsen it all, she also started having low fever continuously. That is around 100 centigrade always. 3 times in a day, I would check through thermometer her fever before giving her the medicine, and every time there was this fever lingering, and it weakened her so much with so many taboos of eating items and all that, that she had grown so weak, she could not even stand stably. 3 months and more, she was running this fever with the asthma attack. I was so exasperated that one day I threw the thermometer at Bhagwan's lotus feet and said, Swami, please help. It is too much now. She is not able to bear it. She is not able to stand. How are we going to handle this? Believe me, that afternoon, when myself and my father was resting in an adjacent room and she was in a room which was warmer, suddenly she got this fever attack. She got up, she sat up on her bed, and she was gasping for breath. Suddenly she felt a presence near her bed. She looked and found, to her astonishment, a blackish greyish figure, very stout and strong, looking very intently at her. She was petrified and she asked in Hindi, "Tum kaun ho? Who are you?" And this creature answered, "I am Yam Ka Doot." Yam Ka Doot means I am the messenger of Yama, the Lord of Death, and I have come to take you now. She was so scared at that time. To be able to see this also of Bhagwan's grace, suddenly she remembered Swami. She cried out, "Sai Ram!" And with that one Sai Ram, this figure was pushed, flung behind some 20 to 25 meters, and strangely she could see through the wall that he was flung like that. As if somebody with an electric speed had pushed him through the stomach, and he was, just like that. But very intently still looking at her. So she called out another louder, "Sai Ram!" And there it was, immediately receding so fast, almost, lost in the horizon. Hearing her Sai Ram, we both came running, and she told us, "I was visited by death. But Sai Ram, just the name of Swami, 2 times brought her out of this trap of death." What a beautiful Lord we have. Just the name can give us this beautiful solace. Then there's nobody. That time also, there's no big story about it, but just twice she called out Bhagwan's name and she was saved. Which force, can touch the devotees of Bhagwan? Even death gets defeated by his grace. The next experience which I would like to share is of my younger sister. Her name was Veena. When I passed out of Bhagwan's college, she joined in. This is 1977, year 1977. And of course, myself, my elder sister, and she had to take just one option of English medium arts combination, because there was no home science, there was no commerce, there was no science in English medium. So she also just took the same combination, and she was undergoing the BA graduation course. After she finished her BA course, Swami commanded that she should also go to Tirupati and do her MA philosophy. Meanwhile, I had finished my MA and had got registered for PhD, and I was also there, put up at Tirupati. She had gone through the first year of her MA course, and she had secured first rank in her class. The second year also she had gone through, and the final exams were nearing, just about 10 to 11 days ahead. Suddenly, when she was sitting and studying, she developed a severe pain on the right side of her abdomen, piercing pain. This pain would come for a short while, and it would just disappear. Initially, it was far-fetched that after a couple of hours, she would get this piercing pain, and then she would call out to me. I was near her, and I would press with my fingers. She would feel little relief, and the wave of the pain would go, but again it would come back, and the frequency started becoming more, and the pain was developing more intensely. So the third day of this pain, because the exams were close by, I took her to the small medical setup which was there in the university campus. The doctor saw and said, we cannot help her. Please take her to the government hospital, which was called Ruya Hospital in Tirupati. So I took her there. Some tests were gone through, and it was found that she is having quite big size kidney stone that was creating obstruction and causing this pain. And during those times, surgery was the only procedure through which this stone could be removed. The doctor said, you must call your parents because the surgery has to be undertaken quickly. My parents at that time were in Ambala, Haryana, very far away. There was no phone communication feasible, possible at that time. The only fastest communication could be through the telegram, which also may take 2 days. For them to immediately start also, it will take around 3.5 to 4 days to reach Tirupati. What was left for me? I had no choice, and we didn't know anybody in Tirupati. Nobody. Only both of us. And then I just thought, Swami, you are my mother, you are our father at this juncture. Whom to seek? I left everything, all my concerns at his lotus feet, and I took her, signed the papers, and she was asked to come after 2 days to get admitted and get the surgery done. After 2 days, I took her. Another thing which was a very disturbing thing was the exam. She had to prepare for exam, and she didn't want to lose her rank because she had already got the first rank in the class. And now the exam just a few days ahead, just a week left. And if the surgery is to be taken, after surgery care, and then how long it might take for her to really, so much of time lost, how will she be able to prepare? That was a big concern in our minds. But we were continuously praying to Swami because we had no other go. We were totally helpless. But with his help, everything is possible. We knew it. So I took her to the hospital. She was supposed to be on liquid diet, and some procedures were undertaken, and she was admitted in the hospital, in the ward. I sat through the night praying to Bhagwan to help us. In the hospital, the night, the information reached to us that the examinations were postponed indefinitely. What a relief it was. She couldn't have got time to study, and here is this indefinite, love-filled Lord who created a situation, not only just a couple of days, indefinitely postponed. We were so relieved and we were so full of joy that we forgot that actually we were sitting in the hospital for a surgery. We almost celebrated it in our hearts. Next day, at 10 o'clock was supposed to be her surgery. She was supposed to be going for surgery at around 10 o'clock in the night, morning. She was sponged and she was she was put on the stretcher and she was wheeled into the OT. I sat on a wooden bench outside, praying intensely to Swami, Swami, do something, help us. Of course, by this postponed, I knew his care is upon us, and actually I had no fears right now. But I was praying very hard, trying to see Swami and the doctors and the nurses who were going inside. After about half an hour, 3 doctors came out of the OT with X-ray sheets in their hands. And they were discussing something very intently. I was a little scared as to what complications might have got developed that they have come out and they're discussing so much. Excuse me, for some time I kept quiet, then I gathered some courage, went to them and said, excuse me, sir, is there any complication? Could I help in some way? They said, no, sister, we are quite surprised that the X-ray, in the beginning when it was taken, the stone was clearly shown, and they showed me the X-ray sheet in which the stone was clearly shown, quite big stone. But now, just before the surgery, to really get to know the right position of the stone, we have taken 2 X-rays. But in both the X-rays, we don't find any stone there. My God, in a hurry, I took the sheets in my hand and I saw and compared. Really, there was no stone. I was so happy, and I asked her, then that means there's no need of any operation. Can we go to the hospital? She said, yes, sister, we can definitely go. He was talking in Telugu. There is the need for operation. Please go ahead, go back. In 5 minutes, my sister Veena was wheeled out. She jumped out of the stretcher, and we were so happy. Imagine the stone has disappeared and we come back to the hostel. She has not had food last whole day, so she was very hungry. So we had food and I made her rest. I also rested for a while. While we were resting, this is not the end of the story, okay? Suddenly she got up with a cry of joy. I said, what has happened now? She said, I forgot about a dream of Bhagwan that I got on the hospital cot in the night. I said, come on. Then she told me, in the night she saw herself getting onto a bridge over a fast-flowing river. Her intention was to cross over the bridge and go on the other side. Suddenly she saw Swami climbing from the other side of the bridge and walking towards her with a lot of concern on his face. He came close to her and stopping her. She was very happy. Swami, Swami. She said, wait, don't go further on. You will not cross the bridge now. Turn around and go back. She said, okay, Swami. She immediately said, okay, and Swami was quite pleased that she accepted it unquestioningly. Then Swami created vibhuti and applied on her stomach. In the dream, she started thinking, I missed this point actually, in the night when she was actually in the hospital, before the admissions were over and she was in the hospital for the night, she suddenly started sneezing so much that the nurse nearby who was taking care, she said, if you get cold, madam, your surgery will be postponed. So both of us were much concerned that this cold should not be there. She sneezed and sneezed. Ultimately, we prayed so much to Swami that her sneeze stopped. So the nurse said, okay. In the night, in the dream, she is thinking, why is Swami applying vibhuti on my stomach when actually my real concern is the cold? She had totally forgotten that actually she had come for a different purpose there. Anyway, Swami applied, gave her namaskar, touched his hand on her head and told her, now you go back. She turned around, she started walking. But after a while, about 10-15 steps, she looked back. Swami was watching at her. He said like this, blessed her. She also bid bye-bye. She walked ahead. 3 times she looked back, and all the 3 times Swami, till actually she could go on continuously Swami. She could continuously see Swami waving at her and blessing her. After which, of course, she got up and she said this was the dream. So the stone had disappeared by this vibhuti of Bhagwan, and we were saved such a lot of tension and confusion which we would have otherwise faced. In our helplessness, we had totally depended upon him, and he did not fail us. He never, ever fails us if we depend upon him. And ultimately she did well. She got gold medal in her second year also. I'll again wind up with another of my poem, which I feel is the voice of each one's heart. And it goes like this. The darkest cloud is frilled with a glimmer of precious silver. The heart opens in crimson bloom of the muddiest of water. Every bud blossoms by the flying kisses of the sunny warmth. The tiniest raindrop is cradled on the sleek green arms. The vagabond spring breeze steals the coffers of shy blooms. The massive sky nestles the wayward cloud in its bosom. So, dear Lord, be it with me from you. The heaviest gloom be brightened by the radiance of thy smile. My pure aspirations be fulfilled by the benediction of thy eternal love. My crazy mind not get enmeshed by the evanescent and temporal. Thy soft nectarine feet be my eternal anchor. With the wisdom drops of eternity, let my heart fill. My undisputed happiness lie in thy supreme will. Through all hues of life's experiences, let me love thee still, And thus, Lord, you in me now, but me in you then. Be the culmination of this blessed life. Jai Sai Ram.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Swami. Happy birthday to you.
It gives me immense pleasure announcing the upcoming Leicester Sai Centre's celebrations to mark Bhagwan's 95th birthday. We invite you and your family to join our special 2-day celebrations starting Sunday the 22nd November from 8:50 am, which includes bhajans, devotee experiences and an SSC and youth offering. Then, on the auspicious day itself, Monday 23rd November, join us from 6:30 am as we start the day with a live Paduka Puja worshipping the Divine Lotus Feet. You can find the full list of puja items at nrsaicenter.org.uk/what's on. The link is shown on your screens. Then in the evening, join us again from 7:30 for Bhagwan's Divine Discourse, a special musical offering by esteemed musicians and our guest speaker, former Sai student Dr. Ram Subramaniam. And of course, there will be a virtual cake cutting ceremony too. You can join the birthday celebrations on this very YouTube channel. You can also tune into the national and international celebrations this weekend too. More details will be shared after the Gayatri Mantra. We look forward to you joining us in these celebrations from your homes. Jai Sai Ram.
If you're facing discomfort, believe that Swami is there, because spirituality is, Swami would often say, no pain, no gain. There has to be pain, there has to be discomfort, because this is not an easy life. The spiritual life is not an easy life. If it was easy, then all the 7 billion people would actually walk it, right? But it is not. And it is only meant for the few fortunate souls that are sitting here.
Shakti tu Yeshu
भगो विश्वरूप तु चिदानंद हरि तू अद्वितीय तू अकाल निर्भय आत्मलिंग शिव तू आत्मलिंग शिव तू आत्मलिंग शिव तू। ओम जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे भक्त जना संरक्षक भक्त जना संरक्षक पति महेश्वरा। ओम जय जगदीश हरे शशिवदना श्रीकरा सर्वा प्राणपते स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपते आश्रित कल्पलतिका आश्रित कल्पलतिका आपद्बांधवा। ओम जय जगदीश हरे माता पिता गुरुदेवं वरियन्तयुनीवे स्वामी वरियन्तयुनीवे नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नागेन्द्र शयना। ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओंकार रूप जय श्री साई महादेवा सत्य साई महादेवा मंगल आरती अनुक मंगल आरती अनुक मंगल गिरिधारी। ओम जय जगदीश हरे नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा। शांति 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 समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु। शांति शांति शांति। जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय। भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम् भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम् भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम् भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम् भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम् भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम् भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम् भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम् भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम् भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। ॐ 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 साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्।